Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm probably quite late to this story, but I recently found out, or I recently saw, no, I recently found out about a group of students in Mexico who were fooling around with the Ouija board, okay? And while they were fool-la-laring with the Ouija board, whatever spirit or entity, I don't know, got hold of them and they were hospitalized. I can't remember how many students. Okay, please, can we not mess around with our spirits, your spirits? And can we please not mess around with spirits from another dimension? I'm talking biblical times two Stranger Things kind of demonic spirits, because they're not, I mean, you don't really need to be religious to know that they're not good. They're not good, you know. And I'm going to give my own little story here, and I might sound like a bit of a hypocrite, but I learnt my lesson years and decades and years ago. Okay, when I was 9, 10 years old, I was in primary school. We used to have this thing called wet play, which basically means when it's raining outside, you have to play indoors. Do not ask me where our teacher was. I have absolutely no idea. But the kids in my class, we were running wild. One of them, not me, but one of them said, "Oh, let's play the Ouija board." Now, I had heard of the Ouija board, but I'd never played it. I've seen it in films. I kind of knew the gist of it and what it was about. But my mind now, as a grown ass 39-year-old woman, was not the same when I was like 9, 10 years old. Okay, so just don't judge me. Anyway, we didn't have the proper Ouija board, so us dumb kids, we got a piece of A4 paper and we wrote out the whole of the alphabet. We got hold of our teacher's coffee mug and we used that as the cup, and we all put our fingers on it and started to move the cup around. We were moving it, it really wasn't working. However, we decided to do the other game. I don't know what. I don't think it's part of the Ouija board, but it's a spin off of the Ouija board where you get your two fingers like that and you put it underneath somebody and they're supposed to levitate. Here is where it got a bit too real for me, yeah? So we chose the smallest girl in the class. She lay down on the floor and we all got our fingers, we put them in her, not in her, sorry. We didn't, God forgive me, not in her. We put our fingers underneath her so that her body was resting on our fingers. And the guy who orchestrated this so-called game said to us, "Oh, you have to chant light as a feather, light as a feather." Oh, so anyway, here we are chanting light as a feather, light as a feather. Nothing's really working. We're being really stupid. So again, he was saying, "Oh no, we need to like concentrate and we need to really get into it." So all of us, myself included, we all closed our eyes and we were chanting light as a feather, light as a feather. I kid you not, all right? It just became eerily quiet, as in, you know, when you put your fingers in your ear and you hear that kind of muffly sound, that was the sound. That was how quiet the classroom was, all right? Then I don't know what we all just stopped chanting, but we were still holding this poor girl. But she wasn't levitating or anything like that. She was just resting up from the ground on our fingers. And then all of a sudden, all of a sudden, we had this attic door that was just outside of our classroom. Listen, when I tell you, that attic door just swung back. In all my years of going to that primary school, in my last year of primary school, where my class, year six, was underneath that attic door, never have I seen it open. But that particular day, when we decided to play this stupid Ouija board and play the follow-on game from it, that was when that attic door decided to open. And before anybody tries to come in the comments and say, "Oh yeah, but maybe one of the kids did it," no, we were 9 and 10 years old. We were only so tall to be reaching an attic door which was up on the ceiling. Okay, it's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. And so finally the teacher arrived and she was like shouting at us saying, "Oh, why are you making so much noise? And who opened the attic door?" And we're standing there like, okay, first of all, you should have been supervising us. And second of all, I know that you can see none of us are that tall to actually reach the damn attic door. Anyway, freaked me out. Caretaker came and it took them, I think it took them a day and a half to actually finally close the attic door, because it was a door that was old, it was rustic, it had been painted over. You only knew that it was like an attic door because of the handle that was swinging. And I say it to say that it's not every game that you need to play. If it's something, and especially for my fellow, why am I laughing? Especially for my fellow Christians out there, like, there are just certain things, especially when it comes from the spirit realm and the spirit world, that you really don't need to mess around with or play with. And if you are of a certain age, like if you're of a young age group and you happen to stumble across this video and you've got friends who are saying, oh, let's play this game, let's play the really, really evil version of Dungeons and Dragons. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, but I've heard stories about Dungeons and Dragons in the past. Or you have a friend that's saying, oh, let's play the Ouija board. Don't do it. Just don't do it. And if they're going to tease you, let them tease you. At the end of the day, let those people be hospitalized because of anxiety or what have you. Just don't play around with your spirit. You know, your spirit is you. Your spirit is, something that lives in you and will continue to live in you and live on when your human body is no longer of this earth. I know that's a bit deep, but just don't do it. You're not missing out on anything. If you want to get a Ouija fix, watch a film, watch The Craft, watch Scream, watch Nightmare on Elm Street, but just don't mess around with your spirit. Okay? PSA done. God bless you. Amen. Goodbye.